Imagine a world that is always watching you. Not in a metaphorical sense, but a literal one. A world where the digital and physical have merged into a seamless web of observation. It begins with the cameras on every street corner, their lenses silently panning, their algorithms tirelessly scanning faces in the crowd. But it doesn't end there. This network of eyes extends into the most private corners of our lives. It's the smart speaker on your kitchen counter, always listening for its wake word, but also passively processing the cadence and content of your conversations. It's the fitness tracker on your wrist, logging not just your steps, but your heart rate during a tense meeting, your sleep patterns after a stressful day. It's the car you drive, the television you watch, the very infrastructure of the city you inhabit, an invisible, omnipresent observer. In this world, every choice you make is meticulously cataloged. The route you take to work, the time you leave your home, the people you meet for coffee. Each decision is a new entry in an ever-expanding ledger. The system sees the subtle hesitation before you make a decision, the deviation from your normal routine. It doesn't just see you do, it analyzes and you do it, building a predictive model of your personality, your habits, your very character. Every action, no matter how trivial, is captured, digitized, and stored. It records every purchase you complete. That morning coffee, the books you buy, the groceries you select for your family. Each transaction is more than just a simple exchange of money for goods. It's a clue to your health, your intellectual interests, your financial discipline, even your political leanings. Buying organic vegetables might signal responsibility. Purchasing a controversial book could be a red flag. Subscribing to a particular news service could nudge your profile in one direction, while donating to a specific charity could pull it in another. Your entire consumer identity is deconstructed and analyzed, piece by piece. It tracks every social media post you share. Every like, every comment, every fleeting thought you broadcast to the world is scrutinized. The algorithms don't just register the text, they perform sentiment analysis, gauging your mood, your level of agreement with popular opinion, your potential for dissent. The photos you post reveal your social circles. The articles you share indicate your ideological alignment. Even the things you say, the topics you avoid, the discussions you refuse to engage in, are noted. Your digital footprint becomes a detailed psychological and political profile, more revealing than you could ever imagine. It even notes every friendship you form. In this hyper-connected reality, you are judged by the company you keep. The system analyzes your network of contacts, assessing the quality of your connections. Associating with high-scoring, compliant individuals can boost your own standing. Conversely, maintaining ties with someone who has a low score, a friend from childhood who has fallen on hard times, a relative with dissenting views, can become a liability, dragging your own score down. The very human act of loyalty is reframed as a calculated risk. In this world, nothing is private. The concept of a personal life, a space free from external judgment, begins to erode until it disappears completely. Your search history, your private messages, your location data, your biometric information, it's all harvested. Every action you take, from hailing a cab to browsing for a new pair of shoes, is converted into a data point. This data feeds into a powerful, invisible system, a vast, interconnected network of algorithms, running on servers hidden away in anonymous data centers. It is a machine intelligence of unimaginable complexity, constantly learning, constantly adapting, constantly refining its understanding of you. It never sleeps, it never takes a day off, and it never forgets. This is a system that judges you constantly, without rest and without appeal. There is no human oversight to plead your case to, no court to challenge a ruling. The algorithm is the judge, jury, and executioner. Its decisions are presented as objective, mathematical certainties. A bad judgment is not a mistake. It is simply the logical output of the data you provided. The burden of proof is reversed. You are not innocent until proven guilty, but compliant until a data point suggests otherwise. This is not some far-off science fiction story. It is not a dystopian fantasy confined to the pages of a novel or the scenes of a movie. It is a future that is rapidly approaching, being assembled piece by piece in the world we live in today. It's built on technologies that already surround us every single day. The smartphone in your pocket that tracks your location. The facial recognition that unlocks your devices and tags you in photos. The cookies and trackers that follow you across the internet, building a profile of your desires. The terms and conditions we all agree to without reading, granting companies unprecedented access to our personal information. Each of these is a single, seemingly innocuous brick in the foundation of a much larger structure, a structure that is shaping our lives in ways we are only beginning to understand. This system generates a single, all-important number, a score, your score. It is a digital summary of your entire life, distilled into a 3- or 4-digit figure. This number is designed to be the ultimate metric of your value. It's a grade that defines your worthiness as a citizen, your reliability as a consumer, your trustworthiness as a neighbor. It's an attempt to make human character quantifiable, to turn the complexities of a person's life into a simple, easy-to-read rating. This number determines everything. It becomes the master key, or the permanent lock, for every door you might wish to open. It dictates your access to services, your eligibility for opportunities, and your place in the social hierarchy. It decides whether you can get a loan from a bank to buy a house. Your financial history is just one small part of the equation. The algorithm also considers your social stability, your employment predictability, and the scores of your associates. A low score, for whatever reason, can lock you out of the housing market for good. It dictates whether you are allowed to travel. A low score could place you on a no-fly list, not for any suspected crime, but for being deemed untrustworthy by the system. It could prevent you from buying a ticket for a high-speed train, effectively limiting your mobility and confining you to your local area. The freedom to move becomes a privilege, not a right. It could determine your career path or whether you even have one. Companies might use the score as a primary screening tool, filtering out applicants before a human ever sees their resume. It could even influence whether your children get into a good school, as your family's collective score is taken into account. It can even decide whether your neighbors will trust you or if a landlord will rent you an apartment. Social interactions become transactional. Before helping a neighbor or inviting a new family to a community event, people might first check their score, calculating the potential impact on their own standing. This score is a permanent digital shadow, following you from the cradle to the grave, impacting every opportunity you ever get. A youthful mistake, a period of financial hardship, a controversial opinion expressed years ago, all remain part of your permanent record, continuously suppressing your potential. The path to redemption is unclear, if it exists at all. This brings us to the fundamental question. What does a world governed by such a system mean for our society, for our laws, and for our freedom? Proponents argue that we are building a safer, more accountable society, a world with less crime, less fraud, and more trust. A world where good behavior is rewarded and antisocial actions have immediate consequences. They envision a utopia of efficiency and order, where the friction of social distrust is smoothed away by the certainty of the score. In this vision, the system is a force for good, encouraging everyone to be their best selves. But critics see a darker reality. They ask, are we constructing a digital prison? A gilded cage where the price of safety and convenience is our autonomy? A society that encourages conformity and punishes individuality? A world where creativity, dissent, and nonconformity, the very engines of progress, are systematically discouraged for fear of lowering one's score. A world where every aspect of our existence is monitored, where every aspect is measured, and where every aspect is managed. Not by a benevolent public servant, but by a cold, impartial, and unforgiving algorithm, whose ultimate goals may not align with human values like compassion, forgiveness, or the freedom to make mistakes. This is the precipice on which we stand, and the choices we make now will determine which path we take. It began not with a grand conspiracy, but with a simple, almost pragmatic idea: to build trust in a society where it was often in short supply. In the rapidly expanding digital economy of the 21st century, a fundamental problem emerged. How do you trust a stranger? How do you ensure a contract will be honored, a loan repaid, or a product delivered as promised? The traditional fabric of community trust was fraying under the weight of explosive urban growth and the anonymity of online transactions. The initial impulse was to create a system that could encourage responsible behavior and foster a more reliable social and economic environment. To address this, China launched a series of pilot programs. These weren't a single monolithic system, but a patchwork of experiments, each tailored to a specific region. In cities like Rongcheng, the focus was on civic conduct, assigning points for things like volunteering and penalizing infractions like traffic violations. In other areas, the experiments were led by tech giants, creating voluntary, gamified systems like Sesame Credit, which linked scores to perks on their platforms. The stated purpose was clear: to reduce rampant financial fraud, to improve civic conduct, and to build a culture of sincerity. The ultimate goal, as articulated by proponents, was to create a more reliable society where everyone played by the rules. A society where public safety was enhanced, business dealings were transparent, and citizens were rewarded for being good neighbors and responsible members of the community. On the surface, it was a utopian vision of a harmonious, high-trust world, built on the foundations of accountability and mutual respect. The promise was a society that functioned with the seamless efficiency of a well-oiled machine. But what started as a collection of localized, noble experiments quickly began to coalesce and evolve. The voluntary, often commercial systems demonstrated a powerful proof of concept. The states saw the potential. The fragmented pilots started to become the blueprint for something much larger, much more centralized, and infinitely more powerful. The lines between private data and public record, between civic scoring and political monitoring, began to blur. The experiment was scaling up, and its fundamental nature was changing in the process. The mechanics behind this emerging superstructure are deceptively simple. At its core, it's a system of quantification. Your actions, both online and in the physical world, are observed, recorded, and converted into points. It's a digital ledger of your life, constantly updated, calculating your value as a citizen. Paying your bills on time or sorting your recycling correctly might earn you positive points. Jaywalking, smoking in a non-smoking area, or failing to visit your aging parents might cost you points. But the scoring goes deeper. Posting supportive comments about government policies on social media could boost your standing. Conversely, sharing dissenting opinions, associating with low-scored individuals, or even just questioning the system itself could lead to severe penalties. Your score becomes a reflection not just of your reliability, but of your compliance. To make this possible, the system requires an insatiable appetite for information. Every piece of data is fed into the algorithm. Your travel history, tracked through ticketing apps and facial recognition at transport hubs. Your shopping habits, logged by e-commerce platforms and payment services. Your social connections, mapped through your contacts and online interactions. Even your political views, inferred from the articles you read and the content you share. Nothing is irrelevant. Every click, every purchase, every movement becomes a data point in your permanent digital profile. Before we dismiss this as a foreign phenomenon, we must look closer to home. Elements of this scoring and sorting architecture are appearing everywhere, woven into the fabric of Western societies. Traditional credit ratings, once based solely on financial history, are now incorporating new data streams to predict our behavior. Health passports and vaccine mandates, born of crisis, created a framework for tiered access to public life based on personal status. Workplace monitoring apps track our every keystroke and conversation, scoring our productivity and even our sentiment. And the loyalty programs we eagerly join are, in essence, private social credit systems, rewarding good consumer behavior with perks and privileges. Each of these systems is introduced under a familiar and comforting banner: security, efficiency, personalization. We are told that sharing our data will protect us from threats, streamline our daily lives, and provide us with experiences tailored perfectly to our desires. The trade-off is presented as a simple matter of convenience. a small price to pay for a safer, smoother, more customized world. But as governments and corporations race toward total data integration, a critical threshold is being crossed. When your insurance provider can access your grocery purchases, when your employer can see your social media activity, and when the government can aggregate it all, the potential for misuse grows exponentially. What happens when these disparate scores, your credit score, your health score, your employee score, your consumer score, are merged into one? A single master score that defines your opportunities and your limitations. This convergence creates a powerful new form of social control, one that is subtle, pervasive, and often self-enforced. It encourages conformity and discourages dissent, not through overt force, but through the quiet logic of the algorithm. It promises a world without friction, a world of perfect predictability. And so, one fundamental question remains, a question we must all confront as we build this new world, data point by data point. In the relentless pursuit of a perfectly ordered society, what essential parts of our freedom, our privacy, and our humanity are we willing to sacrifice? Every click, post, or protest could affect your standing. A bad score might mean higher interest rates, job loss, or worse, social exclusion. The code itself can become a vessel for discrimination, delivering biased outcomes with the false authority of technological neutrality. When a system that controls access to air travel is less accurate for certain groups, it stops being security and becomes systemic bias. Supporters say it creates accountability. Critics warn it's digital tyranny, a future where freedom depends on compliance. The European Union's landmark AI Act proposes a ban on AI-driven social scoring by governments. We see it in the courtrooms where citizens are fighting for their biometric privacy, and everyday citizens questioning AI fairness. In the heart of the digital revolution, a stark warning emerges from one of its own. Silicon Valley technology veteran Eamon Jabi, an engineer with decades of experience at the forefront of innovation, now speaks of a future we are building, brick by digital brick. He cautions against the creation of what he terms a digital prison, a sophisticated web of control woven from the integration of facial recognition, artificial intelligence, and a vast network of surveillance devices. This isn't a distant dystopian fantasy. Jabi argues it's the logical endpoint of our current technological trajectory, a system where our every move, both online and in the physical world, is logged, analyzed, and stored. The linchpin of this entire structure, according to Jabi, is the long-term plan that facial recognition will be used to unlock your digital identity. Imagine a world where your face is no longer just your own. It's the master key to your entire life. It's how you'll access your bank account, board a flight, enter your workplace, and even buy groceries. This single, unchangeable biometric marker becomes the gateway to all essential services, consolidating your existence into a single, easily revocable point of access. The convenience is undeniable, but the concentration of power is unprecedented. He argues that the widespread, normalized use of facial recognition is the foundational layer for a system of continuous, automated monitoring. Every camera becomes a checkpoint. This data stream, he warns, is designed to feed directly into social credit systems. These are not merely theoretical. In some parts of the world, they are already a reality, where citizens are scored based on their behavior. Jaywalking, a controversial social media post, or even the company you keep can lower your score, leading to tangible consequences like travel restrictions or loan denials. Jabi explicitly links this framework to the grand vision architecture of the World Economic Forum's Fourth Industrial Revolution, a new era defined by the fusion of our physical, digital, and biological identities. Proponents argue this is about creating smarter, safer, and more efficient cities. They promise a world without crime, with seamless services tailored to our every need. But as we build this brave new world, the line between safety and control is becoming dangerously blurred. A tool designed to catch a criminal can just as easily be used to monitor a peaceful protester. A system built for convenience can become a mechanism for coercion. As governments and corporations race toward this future of total data integration, their interests are aligning in powerful ways. For corporations, our data is the new oil, a resource to be mined for immense profit. For governments, it is the ultimate tool for security and social management. This public-private partnership is accelerating the construction of the infrastructure of surveillance at a breathtaking pace. And in this race, one crucial question remains, a question that cuts to the very core of our autonomy. Will your life soon be rated? Will your opportunities, your freedoms, and your very worth in society be determined by an algorithm, a score calculated from the digital shadow you cast every second of every day? Deep, slow, reflective. There is no denying it. A connected world offers unparalleled convenience, a life of frictionless ease. But at what cost? We are bartering away our privacy, piece by piece, for comfort and efficiency. When data becomes the ultimate source of power, your privacy is no longer a right. It becomes a currency. And it's a currency we are spending faster than we can comprehend. The question is, what happens when we have nothing left to trade?